It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know, though, is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar, we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street today where they have a happy hour here every single day for 3 hours from 3 to 6 where they have half-price drinks and half-price food as well and an awesome brunch on the weekend. And I'd like to introduce you to the fabulous Linda Summy, who you would have met once before if all our equipment had been working. Come in, Linda.
Hello.
Hi. So the last time you did the show, you very graciously came down all the way from around the corner where you live, and you sat down here and did this entire show, and then we lost the whole thing due to some sort of technical fuck-up.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what happened. And so can you remember what you said? Because just say it again.
That I'm jinxed?
No. Are you normally bad luck to be around?
I didn't think so, but now that I've been on the show twice and we've had technical difficulties twice.
Well, we have, but I think it's working now. Okay, though.
Yeah, we're good.
Just
we'll find out
here a little bit.
I'll speak to you soon.
So, what did you talk about last time you were on the show? Can you remember?
I was with somebody who was the maker of kombucha.
Oh.
And I remember we tried a lot
right.
of delicious kombucha.
Was it Big Easy Bucha?
Big Easy
Yes.
Butcher was
Oh, yeah,
on
I
the
remember
show,
that one.
right?
Yeah.
And this is the voice of Andrew Duhon, who's back from his birthday. Wasn't here last week. Too drunk?
It's true. No, I wasn't, but I was making plans to be.
Well, did you end up being drunk as well?
No.
Not
really.
It's your birthday. You're
Yeah,
allowed
I
to.
mean, come the nighttime, I knew that I was just gonna fall asleep. I was, at my local at that point, so it was only a stumble home from there. Sure, I got drunk from there.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Thanks, dude.
And did you, in the depths of your drunkenness, come up with a name for your new album?
Man, that's a great question.
know.
No, man,
No.
I'm still struggling with that.
Okay. Well, we didn't get any suggestions at all, by the way. None of the three people who listened to the show had an idea.
I mean, my mom already told me her suggestions.
What's
That's
her
one of the three
suggestion?
people. So
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Her?
She hasn't told me.
Oh,
any
I thought she might have had a
suggestions.
good one.
No.
I still like mine. Michael Kennedy is here as well. Hello, Michael.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm super excited.
Are you really good? All right, now you're on your second drink.
I'm on my second. Linda's the drunk.
Linda's on 3 already. While we tried
She's
to
going
get,
3 at once.
They're all, but yours are both the same. Linda's are all different, which is troubling for a hangover. Well, this is why we have Hangover Destroyer, completely available.
That means I can keep drinking, huh?
You like to keep drinking. And today's the last day of work for you. You're a school
It
teacher.
is. That's why I'm drinking
wow.
so many drinks right now.
Huh.
What do you teach?
I teach first grade.
Oh, wow. That must
Does
be
that
kind
make
of
sense
fun.
now?
Drink up.
So what do those little kids like to teach?
They are amazing and they're a handful at the same time.
Right. What school were you at?
I'm at Green Charter down the street.
Oh, just around the corner
Yeah.
here.
2 blocks away.
So you can walk to work?
Yes.
And then you can walk down here?
Yes.
Have a couple of drinks?
That's
Wow,
perfect.
that's pretty cool.
It's a great setup.
So you don't need a car. Do you have a car?
I do. And I drove here today because I thought it was going to rain and
It is.
It's raining.
Well, it's stopped now, actually, so it'll be raining again by the time you go home.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice, the last day of work. And what happens next year? Are you going back there, or?
we are moving
What?
to San Antonio, Texas.
Oh.
So this
whole
is like
school?
the last hurrah here in New Orleans.
This is it?
This is it.
And you've been here for
We've
like
been here
how
for
long?
5 years
And you moved here from where?
from San Antonio, Texas.
Well,
So now we're just going full circle.
and you're married to one of our favorite musicians, Josh Summy.
Josh Ray Summy, yes.
Yeah, who's from the band Hazy Ray. So what's the band doing? Is the band still together, or are they all moving, or what's
They're
going on?
mostly based out of Texas now, and Josh is doing some more side projects on his own. But he has a lot of connections out there, and so it's just a good move for both of us.
San Antonio. What's that
Lovely,
like?
lovely city.
Where do you play when you're out there?
Sam's Burger Joint.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Great
good spot.
Yeah.
Does Josh play there as well?
He hasn't, but I'm sure he's going
Okay.
to start going
Well, and
over
what are
there.
you going to do?
I'm teaching second grade.
So you really?
Ooh.
Just moving
Moving
up.
on up.
Yeah.
So that's double.
Yeah. I'm a little
Double the
nervous.
grade.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay. There aren't many grades that double every time you go from one grade to the
That
next,
is a
right?
fact.
In fact, that's the only.
You've got this.
That's the only one. And Michael is a criminal defense attorney.
I am.
Are you licensed to practice in Texas,
No, only New York and Louisiana.
New York, and Louisiana?
Yeah.
That's interesting. 2 states.
Well, lots of crime everywhere.
That's where the most crimes occur, I suppose.
Probably so.
This must be great being a criminal defense attorney in New Orleans. I would imagine.
There's job security.
Yeah. So I found this thing in our extensive research, in fact, just 1 minute ago before we came in. Is this your case? Orleans DA personally tries sordid contract hit case?
That was my case, a Black Widow murder, yes.
Fantastic story. So can you tell us the story? This is an awesome story. Just lean into the microphone.
So there was this woman. I represented the alleged hitman. But there was
Hitman. Got that already.
Got it,
Off
yeah.
to a good start.
That
But
actually happens?
Oh, yeah. So there was this woman named Emma, and I think by this point she's, allegedly, I'm not sure how many she's been convicted of, but there are at least 3 dead husbands by now.
Whoa.
I think my guy allegedly took out husband number 2. I don't remember how number 1 died. Number 2, she was having an affair with my guy's foster brother, and they allegedly gave him like 10 grand. There was a preacher on a motorcycle involved. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. I've done a
Okay.
couple of true crime shows about it, but I don't have cable, so I never remember which ones I'm recording.
Well, I can tell you, I've got it written down here. It's like this is an article from The Advocate, actually, so it's bound to be accurate. It basically says, I think that this woman was, what was her name? Emma Rain. This first thing was Emma Rain was the marrying kind, also the killing her husband kind, according to the Orleans Parish District Attorney Leon Canizaro. And you had to actually go up against Leon Canizaro himself.
It was the first case he'd done in like 4 years, so he decided to do our case.
So he's the prosecutor and he's the DA.
Yes.
So does that predispose the judge to make them think that?
Well, it's
Canizaro.
less about what the judge thinks and more about what the jury thinks. And yes, we did feel like the jury kind of felt like if the elected DA, who never does cases,
Right.
decided he was going to come down and try our sordid Black Widow murder for hire case, that put us with an uphill battle to begin with.
Right.
Do you, upon jury selection, much like if you have a semi-famous or a famous client, you want to know whether the jury knows this person, so they have bias. Did you do a similar thing with the attorney himself? Say, like, do you know who this attorney is?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to ask those sorts of questions like, is the fact that the elected district attorney is doing this case himself make you feel like you're going to vote more one way or the other?
Right.
And, people tell you they're not going to.
I'm
but
from
still,
Metri. I love Canons. I got plenty of Canizaros in my family. Yeah.
you can't be from Metri. They're out of parish.
That's right. Yeah.
What was the verdict?
Oh, it was guilty.
So you lost that one.
We lost that one for sure,
When
yeah.
you say we, that was you lost.
Well, it was me and my co-counsel, Tanzania.
Tanzania. Is that someone who works with you or for you? Or?
With us. Like, there are 5 attorneys in my office, but none of us are connected. We all just kind of
just
are
share.
friends that once in a while,
Right.
everything's more fun with a friend, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Murder's no different.
So when someone, how did you find this case? They come to you, obviously.
Yeah, I was at the gym. As I've told you, I spend a lot of time at the
You
gym.
were saying before we went on the air here that you spend a lot of time. at the
I
gym.
spend a lot of time
hours
at the gym.
a day.
2 to 3 hours a day.
A day, 2 to 3 hours a day
Yeah.
at the
Wow.
gym. Do you think that's like a mental problem or what?
What do you do for 2 to 3 hours a day?
No,
Most people
I-
sit in an
I sit
office.
on
I go,
Facebook or
It sounds
something.
like a thing that
I
a
go to the
criminal
gym.
defense attorney does in his spare time so that when he's on the true crime drama and they need the montage, he's going to be at the gym on every
gym.
montage, and the earphones, you're assuming, are playing the music that you're hearing in the montage.
I
you know,
consider
can you see
it
it? Can
work
you see it?
related. No jury wants to look at a fatty.
Sure.
That is my theory.
Yeah,
yeah.
If they have to look at my ass for like 5 days in a row, it should be good. It is my duty to them.
So you're doing this for the people of New Orleans?
I'm doing it for the people.
Okay. 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
What goes into, what do you do when you're there? You're on the bike and...
Oh God, no.
Powerlifting?
Cardio's separate. Okay, so I have a trainer and we have a workout group and we're all friends. And like Monday is push day, and then we box for an hour. Tuesday is back day, and we have a whole body workout.
What's back day mean? You get tattoos and give each other a back rub? Or,
Well, I have a lot of them.
you have a lot of tattoos and you have a mohawk.
I
That's
do.
pretty unusual for a defense attorney, I would think, to look as wild as you look.
I like to believe not only should I have a good ass as a defense attorney, but they like irreverence. Nobody
Yeah.
wants like a cookie cutter defense attorney.
You look kind of fierce. Is that the
Thank
look?
you.
Is that the look you're going for?
It's the look I have. So
Yeah, it's good though, don't you think?
Work with
I
what
think
you've
that
got.
would work.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a fast look.
I'm-
with the tattoo. Okay, so what does a back day mean?
Oh, back day. Well,
You're
that's
working
when
on
you're
your back
doing.
muscle.
Yeah, you're doing more pulling versus Monday when we push.
Push day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday. Wednesday is all core.
Okay.
Just all core. That's what I did before I came here.
And what sort of exercises does that mean?
Well, today we did killer core. So we started
very
with
fierce.
we started with Turkish get-ups, and then we did
Turkish
sock
get-ups.
flags, and then dragonflies, and
Do
then
you guys know what this is?
No.
Linda?
No, that sounds very foreign.
Start with Turkish get-ups. That sounds good. That sounds like a food.
I'm not sure there's a way for me to describe it
You could
with a
do one.
microphone.
You want to do one?
I just did like a lot of them.
What's one more?
Well, one more isn't going to kill you, is it?
Okay.
Before.
Yep.
Mr.
I'll do
Fierce
color
is wondering.
I'll be the
Alright.
color commentator and describe what's happening.
Okay,
here.
all right.
I was
So-
also
Okay, it looks like he's in a sitting position.
I
He's
don't know.
laying down
He's
now.
lying
He's
on
got
the
one
floor
arm
of
up.
Wayfair, which is weird.
One leg up. Okay. Oh, yeah, kettlebell in one hand.
Oh, with a kettlebell.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Okay, so it's essentially a sit-up where you stand up from the sitting position.
And then you have to do both sides.
Shit, so
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
intense.
lie down,
Lie
and
down.
hold a kettlebell above your head,
Kettlebell above your
and then
head.
stand up.
Stand up.
And that's
Well,
just the
you know,
first workout?
Sit up and then stand
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Okay. How much does a kettlebell weigh for us? Though?
Depends on how strong you
You
are.
look
Yeah.
like you're sweating from that one.
I am.
And that wasn't even with a kettlebell or in a gym.
I was feeling lazy today
know-
and stopped at 15. The guy I was with went up to 25, but he looked like he was in a lot more pain than me. So I was good with my decision.
Yeah.
But
You
how
know-
much does that thing weigh?
Well, it depends on
Yeah.
who you are and what your prowess is. But
Yeah.
How long is a piece of string?
do the
String?
String.
How long is a piece of string?
I don't
Don't you know that one? That's the same thing as how much does a kettlebell weigh?
I don't
Well,
know
it could-
how much,
Well,
Grant.
that's right. How long is a piece of string? It's a ridiculous question. I guess how much does a kettlebell weigh? I mean, how much does it weigh the one you were
The
holding
one that
up is what
I
I'm
used
talking
today
about.
was
Look at
15.
that
I
tattoo.
was
That
feeling
sounds heavy to
15
me.
pounds. Look at this tattoo. That is amazing. What is that of? Holy mackerel. That's like a Keith Haring type.
It's a warrior rune.
Right.
Yeah, I have
Man,
lots
you've got some tattoos
of
going.
them.
Look at the size of these muscles, though. That's working this thing.
Well, that's what happens when you go
Yeah.
to the gym.
But you can't wear like the shirt in court. What do you wear in court? You just wear a suit.
I wear a suit. Like,
Can you have the sleeves cut off, like
yeah, I
Mad
mean,
Max style?
I've gone in and like at one time I went in bullet hole jeans and a skull sweater. I went in one time thinking I was just gonna like ask a quick question and had on a t-shirt, and the judge looked out and told the audience, she was like, he has his shoulders done too. I saw him at Jazz Fest. I'm like, thanks, Your Honor. Yay.
All right. Okay, so this woman, Emma Rain, had killed a bunch of other. I mean, she'd killed people, and now she'd got her boyfriend to kill him.
I'm not sure she ever actually killed anyone herself.
Yeah.
I think she was more of a higher out
Yeah,
sort of person.
You got to
Right.
outsource that stuff.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting.
That's the
Okay.
right way to go.
It said that she'd got bored with your client, James Rain. Was that your client?
No, my client. That is who my client allegedly killed.
Your client's name was Everett.
Yes,
Somebody Everett.
Terry.
Terry Everett's defense
Alfred,
attorney.
the family called him Terry.
Okay. It
Yeah.
says here that Everett's defense attorney, Michael Kennedy, said his client never admitted anything to family members nor to a fellow jail inmate, Donald Glover,
It was all lies.
who was expected to testify for the prosecution about a detailed confession Everett allegedly offered. Well, it's a tough life behind bars there.
Well, their
What is-
whole story was that my client got drunk at a family party and was just like, "Oh yeah, I killed James." Blah blah blah. Really, our theory was that they thought there was some insurance money they could get if they threw our guy under the bus. Then okay, and he was found guilty. So guilty or not, whatever. This was the part that annoyed me the most. By this point, Emma's obviously in jail. She's not allowed to marry anymore. Well, maybe legally, but
So
she's
she
in
was
jail.
found guilty of something, too.
But his damn family was like, we turned him in to save his life so she wouldn't kill him too. I'm like, she's in jail. She's not killing anybody, you lying sons of bitches. Really pissed me off. But
So how long did he get?
oh, life.
Wow.
There's no option
So
in that.
How does a guy like you get paid when you're defending these people who probably don't have a whole lot of money?
Well, ahead of time, obviously.
Paid in advance. What does it cost to hire you if I kill somebody?
That
Allegedly kill somebody.
that kind of depends. Okay, so there's actually kind of I have a breakdown for it. There's like, you allegedly killed somebody in some backwater hole that nobody gives a shit about. There's the starting price. you killed somebody and it got national press, that price can come down because it's free publicity.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it costs more if I knock somebody off in New Orleans East or the Ninth Ward when no one can see it.
But think of the exposure.
If I did it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So if I shot Andrew right here, it would be cheaper.
Well, how many people listen to this?
But the chance,
I mean, that kind of depends.
the chances of me getting away with it are nil if I'm going to shoot Andrew right here, though, right?
I'm pretty good at what I do. Back off.
Well, it depends on depends on who Andrew is too. You know, if Andrew's just a bum, you know,
But we're filming this, though, and this is on Facebook Live. If I shot you on Facebook Live,
right? That would be a big story.
or if I shot Grayson on Facebook Live, which is, look at that.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, that would be a big
Grayson
deal.
didn't do you nothing. Why are you going to shoot
No one's
Grayson?
done me anything, but I'm doing it for the publicity, for you.
Okay, I really appreciate
Well,
that.
I think it's a good point that you bring up that he does not have a motive. This is important to his defense.
in Louisiana, they do not have to prove a motive. The state
Oh.
has.
Well, how would you get me off?
Wow, I mean, right here.
Yeah. What's the defense? Because everyone pleads not guilty. They capture. I mean, someone shot some people on a train in upstate New York somewhere. Where there's like the whole thing was filled with people.
Well,
He shot like 10 people, then he pleaded not guilty.
This is how I feel about the pleading not guilty, even when you're obviously guilty. Like in Louisiana, your only sentence is life without benefits. So,
without benefits.
yeah. So why are you going to just roll over on that? If you're going to get life, you might as well get your day in court. I mean,
Right.
if you're going to get the same thing with a guilty plea as you are if you're found guilty,
Well, why
then
have a
fucking
court?
have your day.
Well, why have a court case at all then? Why not just
Well,
spare us all the expense and time?
Well, you gotta take the shot.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that normal, like compared to other states?
only licensed here in New York, so I don't know.
Okay, is it normal compared to New York? I mean, is it similar?
The annoying thing here compared to New York, or actually like 48 of the other states, is we don't require a unanimous verdict. Only 10 of the 12 people have to say you're guilty.
To put you in
I
jail
didn't
for
know that.
life.
Yeah, to put you in jail for life.
Wow.
Only 10 of the 12 have to say you're guilty.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, which, every trial we file objections to, but it keeps being held up. So I think I've only had one conviction ever where it came back 12-0, which I think is just, devastating. Like, people are going to prison for life, and there wasn't even like a full agreement on it.
Jesus Christ, that's pretty rough.
Yeah. So that's what I
These
do
are
all
the-
day.
These are the things you
That's
don't
really
know about.
depressing.
Well, yeah.
No, we
then-
just did a murder trial. Me and my best friend Miles just did a murder trial out in Homa, where there was zero physical evidence. They didn't even bother to run ballistics to prove there were multiple shooters. The physical description of our client that the surviving victim claimed she'd known for a year was wrong on every single point, and it still came back 10-2. Like,
What?
We're convinced, no offense to the nice people of Terrebonne Parish, it was just a vote of racism. That is all it was.
Yeah. I
There
think,
was no-
I think the older that we get, you have to think that a jury of your peers, like how many peers do you truly think are not crazy or dumb or, so easily swayed by,
Unbiased.
Well,
by,
and it's never really a jury of your peers. Like,
Sure.
my client is growing up in New Orleans
Yeah, well
East,
put.
and the white woman we get stuck with from uptown, she's not his peer,
Right.
other than living in the same parish. Like,
But I guess that's part of it is the objectivity needs to be that they are not specifically your peer per
yeah,
se.
no.
They have to be unbiased, so to speak. But even so, that unbiased can come with complete misunderstanding of the context, or however that sort of thing goes.
An inability to put yourself in someone else's
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah,
like,
sure, right.
just an inability to think about what life must be like if shooting somebody seems like your best option at that moment. Like, I'll talk some shit about you on Facebook. Somebody else is going to shoot you. That's the whole difference in life perspective that people don't put themselves in.
What attracted you to doing this?
I never wanted to be bored at work. So I like teacher, garbage man, lawyer. We all work for somebody.
Easy. We got a second grade teacher over here.
And you work for somebody, right?
I do.
I just never figured if you have to get out of bed and work for somebody,
You don't
I
working
didn't want to be bored. And I've never come home and said nothing happened. Something always happens.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing I could say for my job, too.
Yeah,
Something always happens.
I get crime scene photos. You get poopy pants. Same thing.
And crying, tattling.
I'd rather have
Tattles.
crime scene photos. For real.
Really? You'd rather have crime scene photos than
Then tantrums?
crying?
than crying?
Oh, God, yeah.
1 year, 5-year-olds. How old are they?
They're 7.
7. Oh, that's not too
They're
bad.
6 and 7.
Is okay.
Yeah, we just get tantrums,
Right.
pouting, crying.
Actually, our jobs aren't that different, maybe.
You get paid a lot more, I'm sure.
Not always.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. That's why I was wondering how you get paid. This because most of these people who are convicted or are charged with killing someone, are they? Do you have any sort of white collar type people who've got tons of money and like you see on TV?
No, not very often.
You get-
and who wants those?
I
They're
think you
not
just
interesting.
They're not. I just thought you'd get guaranteed to get paid that way, as opposed to.
I have a general rule that I don't ask where families get our money, as long as they do.
So we still don't know how much it costs to get a defense, Andrew. What
No,
do you
but we
think?
know that
Let's have
if
a
you
full-
film it or put it on Facebook Live,
It's
it'll
gonna
be
be
cheaper.
free.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to go to jail for life. That's the only.
That's
downside
true.
to that. There's no chance of you getting
Well,
me
with
off.
juries in Orleans Parish, chances are you're going to jail for life either way. But
Even if I'm white.
I'm not sure I've ever had a murder with a white client, actually. Huh.
White people
I'll
don't.
have to think
white people
about
don't
that.
kill anyone.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I just don't know if I've ever actually had one.
Right.
None are coming to mind. I'll get back to you on that. You'll get an email at 3 in the morning like I remembered Whitey.
How many people have you defended? Do you think?
I have done virtually nothing but criminal law since 2007, so I've defended a lot of
10
people.
years, I would think.
Yeah.
Almost. Had to work that on a piece
How
of
long
paper.
did this trial take?
Longest trial I've ever done was 5 days. That trial took 3, I think. That one I remember sucked because I had the flu in the middle of it. And like after day 1, I went to urgent care to be like, you've got to give me something. And the doctor was like, you're forbidden from going in public. And I pulled up probably that article. And I was like, no, see, I have to. Like, there's no calling in sick at this point. We're all in. So
Wow.
I had like the throat spray in the red well, pulling it out with my file, like, good morning, yay!
Oh my God.
It was a rough trial.
Tough going.
What was it like working against Canizero? Was he any good?
I mean,
He won, I guess.
he won. That I don't know that always means you're
Right.
good when you're a prosecutor. No, I mean, he's obviously a very smart man. He was a judge at CDC. He was a judge at the Fourth Circuit, all before becoming DA. He was kind of the second chair. Like, obviously, he was the recognition name person, but his daughter, Laura, was actually the lead prosecutor.
Oh, it gets weirder and weirder. This is like a
Yeah.
movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Has
She's a
anyone-
very good prosecutor also. She's obviously a very smart woman. She's a screamer. She yelled a lot. We were in a very tiny courtroom. She was very loud. But
You don't see that on TV either. They scream.
So do
these
you
people.
think what's that move about? Do you as a DA you look at this case and think, "Oh, this will be high enough profile and it's plenty of red meat here. Sure conviction to be had. Let me get my daughter involved here. Give her a softball."
no, his daughter. Let me be clear. Laura, Laura is a
making
very
assumptions here.
Laura is a very good attorney.
Okay.
A little loud when you're in a tiny courtroom, but a very good attorney.
Sure.
And it was her case all along. It was only like 3 days before
Gotcha.
that suddenly we found out her dad was going to second chair her.
Oh, I see.
So it had been her case from the word go. I knew she was my prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
I would only be speculating as to the reasons he decided to jump on at the end. Yeah,
Sure.
I don't think it was motivated as much by family bonding as probably some good high profile, seemed like an easy enough case.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's just speculation.
Yeah, of
but no, Laura had it the whole time. Leon was the surprise to us.
Understood. Yeah.
Linda, do you ever commit a crime?
No, not that I'm
Nothing.
aware of.
Nothing
Come
at all.
on.
We'll talk
you have.
later.
Yeah.
You know,
certainly
actually-
committed a crime.
I have a horrible poker face, and I hate lying.
You hate lying.
And I've never stolen anything except, and this is a really nerdy moment, I did steal a dictionary in elementary school, and I still have it.
Nice move.
The only
You
thing I've
couldn't-
ever stolen.
You never took it back.
I never took it back. It was my dictionary.
Where did
From
you
what
steal it
elementary
from?
school? Yeah.
From elementary school,
What's-
from a classroom
In San Antonio, Texas.
in San Antonio, Texas.
This
I'm going
would
back
be
to
a
the
good
scene of the
opportunity.
crime.
Really? Are you going to teach back at the same school that you stole the dictionary from?
No, but the same zip code. Close
Really?
enough.
How'd you get it out?
In my backpack.
That's the best way. You just shove it.
I can't believe I just said that in front of everybody.
Jane's Addiction, like upskirt sort of thing. I'm kind of disappointed
No,
now.
I just put it in my backpack and walked out, and this is really embarrassing that I'm sharing it with the public.
How
It was
old
before
are
your
we?
drinking days.
Well, we don't know that the last time it didn't work, so maybe this time it won't work either.
I was probably about 12 years old.
12.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Why didn't they give you a dictionary at school?
I don't know. They didn't, and I wanted it, and I didn't have
Well,
one,
you know,
so I
it's
took
not
it.
so bad. It sounds like the beginning of some really interesting documentary on a genius, you know, when they steal the dictionary, you know. It's
Well,
their
but
first.
think how many children didn't learn to read properly. Or
I had
Because of
had
you
this
stole
goal
the
of
dictionary.
reading the entire dictionary from front cover to end
so
cover.
you had a good reason to steal.
I had a good reason, but I didn't fulfill it. Like
Is
I
there-
didn't.
is
I
there,
think I stopped at like
one
B.
word that you really remember learning from your stolen dictionary?
Contraband, maybe?
That's C. She
I
didn't
didn't
get
make
that
it there.
far.
I only got through the A's.
You did.
know.
You got through all the A's.
Aardvark, I don't know.
Did you actually get through all the A's? Did you,
I got
For
through most
real?
of them. Yeah. I did.
most of the A's.
Yeah. Well, it happened because a kid that was sitting next to me from a new school said that he had done it, and he had
he was
read
bragging that he saw the dictionary or that he'd read the
exactly.
dictionary.
And I was like, I can do that.
What was the
And
kid's name?
Silver.
His first name was Silver?
Yeah, his first name was
Silver what?
I don't know. And he was
Sir,
from
Come on,
Louisiana.
think back. Silver who?
I can't remember,
We have
but I
to-
know
we
he
can
was from
totally find
Louisiana.
this person
Silver
easy.
from Louisiana. And
Silver. Shall I just
I still
Facebook
remember
that
it.
right now? Grayson will find it. Silver. Why was he going to school in San Antonio? I guess his parents
his
had moved
parents
there.
had moved. I mean, he should be about 30 years old.
Silver, 30 years old from Louisiana. I've never heard of anyone called Silver. Have you? Except,
Except that Silver.
what about Hi-Ho
He
Silver?
changed my life. He
was
made me steal a
horse.
dictionary.
Was Silver a horse in the Lone Ranger?
I
Hi-Ho
believe you're
Silver.
correct.
That was a horse, right? It wasn't
Correct.
Tonto. It was a person.
Right.
And what was the Lone Ranger's first name?
Ooh. I don't. Did he have
Steve?
one? Sure.
Steve, I think. Steve the Lone Ranger. How do we get on to this? Oh, Silver.
Silver.
Okay.
Silver, the dictionary reader.
Grayson, anyone called Silver on Facebook at all? So what's happened to Paul Sanchez is what usually people who are late are here by now.
I like that.
He should be
Usually
here.
people who are late are here by
They are
now.
usually here before a half hour's gone by or however long it's
Did he
been.
message you?
Did he
I
know
haven't.
it was happy hour? Did he know that there were discount prices on things?
Well, maybe no one told him it was
I
half price
think
drinks.
we need to be express.
He's missing the 2-for-1 deal I got.
And plus, we get.
That's 3 for 1, Linda.
You've had three drinks, Linda. Do you want another one?
It's water.
It is. It is
is
your
now.
last day of
It is
school.
my last day.
The last day, one of your last days in New Orleans. April, let's get you something else. What do you want?
I'll take another one of the
Okay,
Luna Loma.
which one's this one?
The Luna Loma.
Luna Loma.
It is delicious. So if anybody comes to
Can
Wayfair,
we-
order that.
can we
Nice
get one?
plug.
It comes with
Okay.
beer.
Comes with a beer. It
When
comes
you
with a
can't
free
decide what you
beer.
wanna drink.
April, can you hook us up?
Hey, April, while you're up, I'll have a Blanton's on the rocks.
And a Linda Loma. Did you say it's Linda Loma?
Luna Loma.
Luna Loma. That would be a good name for you too, Linda Loma, at your next school, in case they've found out about the dictionary. Okay, cool. So that's the only thing you've ever stolen in your life is a dictionary.
It is.
What about you, criminal defense attorney Michael Kennedy? Have you ever stolen anything? You ever commit a crime yourself?
I'm sure I have some stolen ashtrays and stuff somewhere
Ah,
in
yeah,
my
ashtrays.
past.
That's a good point. We always used to steal ashtrays, though. It was sort of built in.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I stole-
smokers need things too.
I stole an awesome thing when I was young. I stole an honesty box. I thought that was the greatest idea
What
ever.
is
What
an
is an
honesty
honesty
box?
An honesty box in New Zealand, in Auckland, New Zealand, where I was from, they have, you buy the newspaper, and it's
Oh,
in an
I
open,
see.
you know how you have to pull the thing to get the Times Picayune with the Advocate?
Yeah.
They didn't have the door thing, they just have the papers stacked up in a box. And you're supposed to put the money in the slot, and then you take the paper.
So what did you take? You took the whole box?
I took the entire box.
What'd you do with it?
Put it in my apartment. I thought it was hilarious. I was pretty drunk, and then I, woke up in the morning like, how funny to steal
Was there-
an honesty box.
Was there money in it?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I don't even think there were any papers in it. No, I think
Yeah.
it was like in the middle of the night.
Well,
it
if
was
everybody
empty.
bought all the paper and it was just money in the box, then you're a dirty bastard.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that's
I don't
horrible.
think there was any money. I don't even remember that, but I just remember that the fact that it said honesty box, and I thought
Was it a
was
nice box or just like
No,
a
it was a
mean?
beat up metal thing.
Okay.
Yellow from
What
the New
happened to
Zealand
it?
Herald. I think I left it in the apartment when I moved out, probably, or put it on the street or something. I don't know. Nothing. I don't have it. I thought that was a pretty good move, though.
Yeah.
You know, at the time.
Yeah. Well,
If you're drunk enough,
this
they
is
will.
what you do when
Yeah.
you're in college and stuff.
Yeah.
I do know one thing I stole in college that's still at my parents' house in the closet. My friend Zach and I were just hammered. I'm sure it was like a Wednesday, and there was
Wednesday.
I went to
It's
Wake
back day.
I went to Wake Forest. Went to
calls
Wake
now
Forest,
back day.
and there was the nice like plaque that commemorates the building in the politics building that we were drunk enough to somehow just rip out of the wall.
Wow.
Tribble Hall. So the plaque commemorating Tribble Hall, in case you've been looking for it the last 20 years, Wake Forest, is in my parents' closet
That's
in North
amazing.
Carolina.
That sounds like a real actual crime.
That's a
That's
nice one.
vandalism.
I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run.
Oh, I
What
never
was
thought
it?
about that.
Let's see. That would have been, let's say, 93 or 4.
What is the statute of limitations on? Does every crime have an expiry date?
No, murder
some-
has no expiration date.
And nor does like sexual molestation or whatever Bill Cosby's being busted for, because that seems to have been 100 years ago too.
I'm not a California attorney.
No, I don't want to put you on the spot there, but
I will say
But
he's a
most-
dirty old man and we can all see it. But that's just an opinion.
that's not a legal opinion. But
Also,
most
if you don't know
crimes-
what a Cosby sweater is, you should look it up and then feel dirty.
Okay. Do you have any sweaters like that? Did you get rid of them all
I do not.
after the court case? So most crimes have an expiry date. So if you do something and it's enough time has passed, you're automatically not guilty.
That's right. Or you can't be charged anyway.
Can't be charged.
That's good to know, isn't it? Why would they do that?
Well, I mean, there's like witnesses die. It becomes too prejudicial for you to be brought to trial because
Okay.
memories fade, evidence disappears, people die. In New Orleans, people die a lot, and sometimes I
Well,
bank
they
on
die
that.
once like everybody else, right?
Well, they only die once, but the
They die- a lot of
rapidness
people
with
die.
which they die. If I could put local people on my death pool, I would do so much better every year.
Right.
But
You have a death pool for this year? Who are you banking on dying?
honestly, I don't even remember because at this point, I just turn in my same celebrity death pool every year, thinking that one day one of these assholes is going to die.
Who do you turn that into?
I got there. It's like a nationwide death pool. I think our moderator works for NPR now. We used to have one from Politico, but so far my only death this year was Don Rickles. Gene Kennedy will just
Thanks,
not
Rickles.
die. That bitch has been on my list for years.
Gene Kennedy.
The
I don't
last
even know who
surviving
she is.
Kennedy sibling. She will not die.
How old is she?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, like old enough.
She's the last one. Let it go. Let it go.
Okay, here's a message from Paul Sanchez. So sorry, my car broke down on Jefferson Highway. Just got home. I owe you one.
Oh wow.
How about that?
That's weird.
Jefferson Highway.
Huh.
I wonder what sort of car he drives. I thought he was doing pretty well.
Cars break down sometimes.
I guess so. Jefferson Highway, how far away
Uber
is
doesn't
that
break
from-
down.
I'm not sure.
That's what I was thinking. You could just Uber it from here. Should we
He
send
wasn't
a car
into it.
for-
I don't know.
Huh, okay. Well, so much for Paul Sanchez.
Yeah.
He
Well-
can FaceTime.
Yeah.
We could. Should we? No, no. We'll
No.
just forget that he was even coming here. Well, we can invite one other person on here, so we have a spare microphone.
That's
now.
right.
Who should it be? It's your special day, Linda. You want to invite
Yeah,
somebody
you want to go
from
find
school?
somebody from the crowd?
All these girls
Bring
are
on
here.
down.
All these girls are here from your school.
I believe it's come on down.
Hey, Tara.
That could be pretty funny.
Does anybody want to come join us? There's an open mic. Anybody want to come join?
Open mic night, y'all.
That's good. It's open mic night on
Wednesday
Happy
night.
Hour.
All right.
It's back day.
Take that bass for
Did
a
we
walk.
get to Thursday?
What's that?
Do we know what Thursday is?
Thursday.
Core. Is it
Oh,
core?
that's right.
No, Thursday is leg day.
Leg
And
day.
more boxing.
Legs, yeah.
Leg day and
Okay.
boxing.
Don't forget the
Boxing
legs.
again.
Yes.
No
My
one
friends
wants to
are
come.
no-go. No.
Okay. They're all here by chance, though, right?
Nothing. You just come and sit down.
Now, one of them is going to be tempted to do it after another
They
drink,
are.
probably.
That's right.
We'll see
That's
if they
right.
show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get a hot mic. It's gonna be like Robert Durst. Shit's gonna go
That's
down.
right. That's right.
Robert Durst, he must be a sort of a hero in the murder trial world.
When he got arrested, I went to court just to stare at him. I swear he took part of my soul.
Wow.
His eyes went black like on Charmed when you would become the source of all evil.
Okay.
And I went cold. I swear he took part of my soul.
Oh, my
You
God.
watch Charm?
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite spell?
I never watched it.
Oh my God, you suck. Why'd you get me all excited, Linda? Damn it.
Linda, I see here in this extensive research that Graham, our producer, gave me, it says, I'll read anything anyone suggests. I'm an avid reader.
I am. So, I
put it
mean,
in the
obviously
dictionary.
from
Only
my
up
stealing
until
the
the
dictionary.
B's. After the
Up
B's,
to the
she
B's,
doesn't
no.
answer it.
So Andrew's going to get his guitar out right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to read this for me.
Nice. Some sponsors, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna read- oh.
you're going to read these messages.
Oh, okay.
Have you
Since
ha-
you told me to read it, I will read it.
That's what it says. I'll read anything anyone tells me. So that's when I read that, I thought, oh, this is perfect. You can read this.
Sounds good.
Yeah. These are special messages from our sponsors
All right.
from today. And look, we have tons of this stuff here, too.
Let me get my announcer voice ready.
Okay.
Okay, this was brought to us today by Basic Swim and Gym, a full range of fashion, swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. Bikinis, one-piece, cover-ups, and everything you need for beach and poolside is at Basic Swim and Gym, right next to the lingerie store, Basics underneath on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. I will be sure to check that out. And by Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website, hdestroyer.com. Write happy hour in the coupon code and get 30% off Hangover Destroyer and seize the dawn.
I'm going to get a copy of that. I'm going to need that website.
Yeah, do you want some Hangover Destroyer?
Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
that product too.
Linda, that was very nicely
Thank
read,
you.
actually.
Is that like my swag bag?
Thank you.
Here
I
it
get
is. You
Hangover
can have
Destroyer?
some Hangover Destroyer.
Sweet.
After all these drinks, I'm going to need one too.
You can have one as well. Look, we're giving it away.
Thank
So
you.
you take that and you take it while you're drinking or before, if you want to go out drinking. Or you can take it in the middle of a whole bunch of drinks.
Grayson took one in front of us.
Oh,
Grayson
it's for
had one?
every 4 to
Yeah.
5 alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
So
Oh, girl,
I
you
needed
need
one
two.
more drink in order to take this. No,
Well,
actually I'm at 4. Yeah,
You're at
we're
4.
good.
Oh my God, you're at 4 drinks. That's pretty good.
Amazing.
Well, feel free to have some Hangover Destroyer. It's the only, what is it? The only all-natural product proven to prevent a hangover.
Yeah,
So there you go.
that's impressive.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, how did it fit in with lingerie?
It doesn't really fit in, but I guess, you could give someone a nice present, a piece of lingerie and some Hangover Destroyer. It'd be a nice little going-away gift for you, actually, from the girls at school, if any of them come over here to join us. Okay, Andrew's going to play us a song as well, off his new album called... Okay, you guys are completely drunk. What is the good name for a record album?
Give
Well,
it
we
to
have
me.
to hear it first.
Yeah, that
What
we need
kind of
something
music?
to work
I
with.
mean,
What sort of
Yeah.
genre?
what are the song titles?
Okay. There's a song called No Man's Land. There's a song called The Heart of a Man. There's a song called Easy Ways Around the Trouble in the Shape That I'm In. That's not the, I'm just giving you the idea. Easy Ways Around the Trouble in the Shape That I'm In, but they don't go the places I've been. Okay? I'm going to play you a song.
Wait,
That's
can
on
it
the
be
record.
called Get This Hair Off My Microphone before
Get
Michael
that
goes
hair
insane?
off
Tell you
my
what,
microphone.
you've
Thanks,
got
dude.
good eyesight. Do you wear contacts, or that was just all natural? You have glasses right here. How can you see a hair on a microphone? That's
It was a
impressive.
big, ugly hair. I don't think it was a pube, but I'm not ruling it out.
Well, maybe I'll play you that No Man's Land tune.
When Paul Sanchez says he owes me one, what does that mean?
I think the title of the podcast is Paul Sanchez
Owes me one. Oh, that's a great idea. No Man's Land. You want to play that?
Sure. Well, I can still see you and me settled down on a couple acres. I see a foothill farm where a dog can run around. And in my mind, I'm out there picking them tomatoes, but the rest of me just keeps rambling round. Just weathering the storm of a love that's off and on. I love you, then I'm gone again. I'm stuck somewhere in the Midwest. Oklahoma is my best guess. Somewhere between holding out and holding out my hands in no man's land. In no man's land. Your heart is miles and miles of placid ocean. Mine is a rowboat that I drag through landlocked towns. And I know deep down it's all constantly in motion. And you know deep down you can't just keep waiting around. Weathering the storm of a love that's off and on again. I love you, then I'm gone again and again. I'm stuck somewhere in the Midwest, never better than my best guess. Somewhere between not right now, and if not now, when? In no man's land. This is no man's land. Hey, thanks, y'all.
Okay, now that
You
is
can
beautiful.
totally speak to me next time you see me walking my dog.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say hi from the balcony.
Yeah.
What's up,
Yeah.
dude?
You're legit now.
Thanks, dude.
That's
Yeah,
impressive, isn't it?
We're neighborhood
That's great.
wardies, by the way. I've seen him walking his dog. That's what I first said when I walk up to the table. I was like, oh, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're in the same neighborhood, so yeah.
I try to never make eye contact, but I'll look out
No,
for
that's
you
fair.
now.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm the same way. You know, same here. So
What changed your mind? Just because a guy can play the guitar and sing, you suddenly like him?
Well, he's got good hair, too.
Well, that did it though. No kidding. That's impressive, isn't it, to hear someone do that?
well, you gotta wait till you think somebody gives a fuck before you like just decide to not ignore them. There's too many people in the
You've
world.
been talking to him for half an hour. You got some sort of measure of him. You didn't think he was okay until he could play the guitar and sing.
He only hangs out with creatives, maybe. I don't
Thinking he
know.
was okay and thinking I would speak to him outside of this table are different things.
Well, what is the criteria for you to be friends with somebody, or just to be decent?
Wait, those are very different criteria.
Yeah, I know. There's two different things. Well, what does it take before you would actually talk to someone on the street?
Oh, I'll talk to anybody. Have
Right.
you not realized that? I mean, I'm sitting next to Linda. Come on.
Thanks. So you're not going to talk to me out on the street?
I'll talk to you. Well, you're moving to San Antonio.
That's true. I won't
right.
be.
But is your default position that most people aren't worth talking to?
No, my default position is that I panic when strangers talk to me and I want to run away.
Do you really? Are you serious about that? You have like a fear, like a
Social anxiety, maybe you might call it.
I don't know that it's a fear so much as I just don't want to bother a lot of times. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to get to know you. You're going to want me to remember your name. That sounds like a lot.
You know what I feel like sometimes when I'm wandering the streets of Mid-City or in any capacity, wherever I might be, and then suddenly you're confronted with a surprise situation where you are being social, where, as before, you were in your own head. I think myself and many people included are so in their own head, they're wandering around in there, and then somebody just snaps you out of it. But maybe something good was going on in there, and then what do you do? What are you going to be impolite and say, I don't have time right now. I'm really dealing
thinking.
with some shit. You're not going to do that.
I have a very good friend who always says, if you survived Lower Decatur in the late 90s, your reward is Mid-City now.
Right.
And I think that is true. And
That's
we're all
a good
just...
album title.
Yeah, and we're all just like,
That's a good-
Mid-City.
can we just get through this day? I didn't need you. Like, if I didn't meet you at the Crystal in 1999, I don't need you now.
Yeah, and I mean, we've all been in those surprise social situations. You run into somebody you know, and you feel like maybe they're less comfortable with the situation than you think they might be in another scenario, or vice versa. I can find myself like removing myself from an exchange that happened, thinking, why was I so uptight about that? And
What
It's
do you
like
think?
group sex.
It's like group sex. What is?
Removing yourself from the situation, think, why wasn't I more comfortable with that?
I guess in a sense,
I mean, speaking for Andrew, I'm fine with it.
Would you rather have group sex or talk to a stranger on the street?
Is that even an option?
Yeah, that's true. Which is more comfortable for you?
theoretically speaking.
Yeah, if you had to choose.
Wait, is my boyfriend listening?
I don't know.
I don't either.
What does he do?
He sells cars.
Oh, that's a good gig.
Yes, he is a dealer at Toyota North Shore.
Okay, and how did you meet? You weren't defending him or anything, were you?
No, we met in a more naked way.
Is that right?
Yes.
You met naked. I don't think I've
Pretty
ever
sure,
met anyone
yeah.
that I've dated naked. Not the first time I met them. How did you manage that?
Well, there are apps.
Apps. That was an app? Really?
Josh, I love you if you're listening.
Wait, his name is Josh?
Yes.
That's my husband's name.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God! You know what?
Okay, now
You know
me and
what?
Linda are bonded.
You know what the funny
Friends.
thing is? It's the same guy. That would be a good thing to find out for chapter 2.
Would we get a spinoff then?
Maybe. We can come back.
Oh, okay.
Now we're talking about group sex again. So you and Josh met when you were both naked for real? How does that happen for real? Tell me that.
I mean, you have a smartphone, right?
I've got it right here. I've got the message from Paul Sanchez. I can meet Paul Sanchez. What app do Paul and I have to go on to?
Well, I found Josh on Grindr.
On Grindr.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
Grindr?
It's the gay Tinder.
Oh. I mean, I was never on Tinder.
I
so
knew
don't
that.
know.
I've been to San Francisco.
But even
It's
if
a
you
terrible place.
is
You
it
think?
really?
Oh, it's a terrible place. I only like California from LA down.
Oh yeah.
Grayson is agreeing.
Unless
with
you're
you.
at the end up. I'll show up for the end up, but I don't want to see San Francisco otherwise. Fuck that.
What's wrong with San Francisco? Have you been there?
I've never
Linda?
been.
You've been all over the world.
I have, and
You
I've
haven't
never been to San Francisco.
How many countries have you been to?
Over 20?
I'm at 22.
I think
Come
I'm at
on.
21.
Okay.
I was
You should've
trying to
said-
get to
you
30
should've said
before 30.
23.
I know.
You would've won.
I can't lie. I told you. Except for the dictionary.
dictionary thing.
It's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Now, when I got my last passport, I made a goal of 60 countries I'd never been to at that point in the next 10 years. So I'm like
Nice.
trying hard to hit 6 a year for 10 years.
I was at 30 before 30, but I think I'm going to do 30 before 31.
Oh, okay.
So we'll
But
see.
you're going for an average.
Yeah, like I.
Wait,
of
what's the craziest
6 a
place,
year.
or what's the best place you've been to?
God. I mean, I love Cambodia, but I also love Switzerland. I had a great time in Ecuador. Where have I been recently? Where I just came back from Asia. What the fuck did I do?
That'll come back to you.
I accidentally protested for the now in prison president in South Korea.
Oh,
You went to the
no. I lived
protests?
in South Korea.
In my defense, they were blocking my hotel, and somebody handed me a South Korean flag. So I'm like, okay, sure. Then they realized I was American, probably because I was 6 feet tall with tattoos, and started filming me. And then finally, somebody
man.
came by with the English version of what we were doing. I'm like, oh shit, she's a crackpot. But oh well.
Geez,
What
you're
city were
lucky
you
you didn't
in?
end up in jail.
What?
What city were you in?
I was in Seoul.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. So that's recently.
Yeah, no, that was April.
That was fun.
I started off in Hong Kong to Macau to Seoul to Tokyo.
Let's see, we can be friends for life.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Perfect. So you and Josh both go on these trips?
This one was
you-
solo. This was just me.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to this grinder thing. So it's what night is it of the week? It's like a Wednesday night, back
No,
day?
that was a. Josh, if you're listening, help me. I swear it was like a solid Saturday, probably.
Saturday, okay. So I'm interested to know how this
I mean,
works.
so
'cause
the question is, within the realm of Grindr, are there any scenarios where you just get together for a drink?
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah.
No,
you
that's
can
happened.
start slow, is in other words.
You
Yeah.
can wear clothes.
Yes.
That's okay.
like Tinder,
Yeah.
most of
Okay.
these Tinder dates start off with
I
clothes
don't go
on.
to the gym 3 hours a day to wear clothes.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess that's true. If you're going to put all that effort into it, you want people to see
Show
you.
it off, yeah.
But how do you meet somebody naked? That's what I'm interested in.
You send your address.
Okay, so how does it work? So you go on Grindr and there's like...
I don't know how to help you. If you can't do it by this point, I don't know how to help you.
Well, so there's people's faces like Tinder.
And you send your
And you
location.
Okay. This is pretty good. See, I don't think there's.
This is what dating
I
is
don't
now,
think
I
there's a
guess.
hetero version of that, is
Again,
there?
Josh, I love you. I'm sorry.
But see, I don't think there is a hetero version of this, is there?
I don't know.
Looks like sex on.
I would know. I would need to
sex
know
first.
the ins and outs of the. Is there any witty
Might be a
banter
poor-
that needs to happen
might be
first
a poor
or
choice
not?
of words.
No, but there was a lot of witty banter the next morning, which is why we're still together.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
really sweet.
initially, generally in the grinder scenario, there doesn't necessarily need to be witty banter in order to get to giving your address out. Is that true?
I was not looking for banter.
Yeah.
You're just looking to have sex with somebody.
I think that's great that the gay community, I don't know if
Oh,
by and
ask
large,
any
but
of my friends, I'm a terrible gay. The only part of it I have down is the sex. The rest of it I suck at.
yeah.
Like,
What else are
terrible.
you supposed to be good at? Decorating or something?
Decorating, dancing,
Dancing? Okay.
wearing something other than black t-shirts because you can actually match your clothes. I've got none of that. None of
But
that.
you're good in the sack, so hell. That's got to count for everything,
Well, that
doesn't
feels
it?
a little conceited to say, but
You didn't have to say it. Fran said it for you.
Well, you
I
have
mean,
to.
if you work out at the gym all the time.
Well, that can be a compensation, actually, not a cause.
You figure it out, It's just like dancing. You figure it out.
I've never figured out the dancing.
Oh, well,
No,
that,
I think
I
dancing
mean,
you
unless
have to
it's
be
to
good at.
like dance off with your pants off. That one I've got.
I actually can't dance
Dance
either.
off with you.
I
That's
am
another good
horrible at
title.
it, so
Is that what we should name your album?
dance off with your pants off.
I'm writing it
yeah,
down.
that's a good one.
It is good.
It's not good at all, but
Are you kidding?
no.
People won't forget it.
It's either dance off with your pants off or Paul Sanchez owes me one.
That Paul
That'd be a
Sanchez owes me
great.
is not
That's
bad.
a good album title right
Yeah.
there.
You know,
too.
I also noticed
Paul
you use the word
Sanchez
man a
owes me
lot.
one with his pants off.
I do
You
use
also
the
use
word
the word man and easy a lot.
easy man.
Easy man.
I use those two words a lot also. Oh, wait, maybe those words have been used about me.
Easy. So what's it like being in a real relationship now? How long has that been going on?
Oh, Josh and I have been together for a while now.
Like, what would that be? A couple of years? 10 years?
A couple of years. We had a brief breakup in the middle, but the back together is at a year now.
All right.
No. And again, in case he's listening, I love you, honey. My boyfriend is wonderful. He is. He's
I'm
markedly younger than me.
Ah, that's an interesting twist as well.
When he met my parents, he'd been downsized from his job offshore. So, because again, terrible gay, I picked an offshore guy. But so we made an agreement we would like mitigate the flow of information. Like maybe we wouldn't say he was unemployed, 13 years younger,
13.
and living with me all at once.
So what did you
Okay.
say?
Oh no, we said all of that.
And you're an attorney, too. You're a trial attorney.
Well, okay, I said
Think you'd
none
be
of
better
that.
at
My
present-
friend said all of that.
Okay.
Like, one friend was, I made fun of my friend Corinne because, okay, first off, it was a party because my dog died. So we're at a party because my dog died, and we're having like a repass. And my parents come down.
Your parents
and-
came down especially for the
Yeah,
dog wake.
yes.
That's very sweet.
So,
Where are they living?
North Carolina, Asheville,
Okay.
Wow.
where I grew up. I actually grew up in Asheville.
In Asheville.
But-
So that's a place people move to,
Yes,
usually.
no, nobody's from there. I'm from there.
Why
My
you...
husband's from South Carolina.
Oh, where?
With family in Asheville. Columbia.
Okay, that's a shithole. But
Well, he's in Texas, or he moved to Texas.
well,
Well,
fair
you're
enough.
you're from Texas.
Yes.
You're from San Antonio.
Yes.
So how did you guys meet?
In College
Same
Station,
sort of
Texas.
thing? Oh, nothing in the
Oh,
gro-
that's a real
Nothing
shithole.
else. Well, it
Were
has
you-
A&M. That's where I went.
And were you clothed at the
Don't
time?
judge.
Were you clothed when you
Yes,
met?
we were clothed. We were
And
very
how
clothed.
long
We worked
before
in a
you-
clothing store. We worked at Macy's.
Oh,
Complete
worked at
you're
opposite.
the
Macy's?
total opposite.
Yeah, we
of
worked at
me.
Macy's.
Okay, I can't imagine
You were
either
standing
of you
up and everything.
Huh?
Gee, you were standing up and everything.
We
Jesus.
were. I know.
Grayson, have you got me a date on Grindr, or did you find Silver from Louisiana?
Would it have to be Josh Love?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he is watching.
Ah.
He is in
I
fact
just-
watching.
He's watching us live on
He said,
Facebook.
he said
Okay.
you're freaking famous. So
Okay.
I love you, honey.
So he's not working today, Josh, then obviously.
He is.
Oh, you
At
can
least
watch this
last
at work.
heard.
I guess you can stand out. Well, it's raining. Nobody's going to buy a car.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
who's
rain.
gonna buy a car in the rain?
Right. So Linda and Josh worked at Macy's. That's the funniest part of the whole show, right?
Wait, you worked there? I thought you just went there.
No, I worked there.
Oh.
I was in college and I worked there, and he was working at the Sunglass Hut. And
Okay, that's
there
good.
There you go. Yeah, retail
God.
love right there.
Did you fall in love? Was it love at first sight?
Kind of. He was dating his manager, and I was dating his coworker.
And that was quote unquote dating.
Yes, who was also my neighbor.
So you were just banging this guy, basically.
It was very scandalous.
Really, was it?
Yeah, I was.
Why? Everybody
It
was
was-
single and you were they?
It sounds like the Sunglass had a situation that, dare I say, was shady.
Another good one.
But fully clothed
Crazy.
And standing up.
and standing up.
Beating me on all
Wow.
counts.
Okay, so have we got time for another song, or should we keep going with the story?
Let's keep going with the story.
Okay, so
Oh,
where
God.
were we? The dogs?
Okay,
It's
so
a
the dog was
dog
dead.
funeral.
I just come home from Peru. My dog died. Blah blah blah. So I threw a party. My parents came down, and we all decided we're going to mitigate the information. So my friend.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what mitigate means, but do you know that, Linda? You're saying you have a
Lesson?
dictionary and you're a school teacher?
I didn't
She
get to
never
M.
made it the M's.
Oh, yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
right.
make it a little better than it is. We're gonna
Are you
control
gonna-
the flow.
Okay, so you're going to control what people hear. That's what
So-
mitigate means. Okay.
So, my friend Corinne from law school comes over, and her boyfriend is a month older than my dad. So
Wow, that's
I
good right there.
passively made fun of her for that, and she looked at my parents. She's the first one there, and she's like, "Yeah, by the way, I'm 42," and she's like, "Yeah, his boyfriend's 27. He went the other direction." I'm like, "Well,
Okay,
there
that's
went the boyfriend
point
thing." Then
Your parents knew you were gay, I assume, at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point. Okay, so we're not
Then-
going that far down the track.
Then my parents asked him what he does, and I'd written out this great speech because, like I said, he was offshore when I met him. So I was like, the story was, I took early retirement from my job in the oil industry, and am now currently pursuing a career with my passion, which is actually automobiles. Which,
That
you know,
sounds good.
Which, you
That's
know,
pretty good,
is
yeah.
a lawyer version of I ain't got no goddamn job.
That did sound good.
Yeah. And what he unfortunately said was, "Yeah, I ain't got no goddamn job." And I was like, "Oh, oh." And I remember I was in the bathroom. I was taking a piss when this happened. I could hear through the door. I'm like, "Lie, lie." He didn't lie. Honey,
What-
why didn't you lie?
What did your parents think? They liked him anyway.
Oh wait, we're not there. Yet.
Oh, okay.
Back off.
I'm just getting ahead
We're
of it.
getting there,
So
Grant.
then
Okay,
I was
alright.
like, well, at least we haven't gotten to the we live together part. Until I hear him on the couch drunkenly slurring at my mother. He gets up to eat cake at 3 o'clock every morning. Every morning! And I was like, okay, well, number one, Mom knows I eat cake at 3 a.m. That's my 3 a.m. feeding. And number two, there went the living together part.
Number 3, you have cake in your fridge all the time.
Yeah, what about
There is
that?
never-
That's amazing.
There is never a
thinking-
point in time where there's not cake in
That's
my house.
special. That is
Are
awesome.
you making the cake yourself, or are you buying it?
Oh, I'm buying
So
the
what do
cake.
you buy?
Yeah,
what cake?
what's your poison? What are we
Well,
talking about?
my go-to is the Rouse's sour cream cake.
Sour
Okay.
cream.
That's just good.
That's not not the chantilly we talking about. Just the,
No, the
wrong
chantilly's
with
for
chantilly?
special occasion.
Okay.
That is the
like
special
chantilly.
occasion cake.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Really nice
every day
cake.
that special to you, Linda? Really?
Yes, every day is a special day.
If you have to have cake, cake at
Sour
3
cream cake,
Sour cream cake from Rouse. Did you say Rouse's?
Yes.
Okay, well we
And,
must be able to get
and
something
and
out
for
of that.
the record,
Something
my
that can
parents
call
liked
Rouse.
Josh from the get-go. He did not believe so, which is why I found him in my gear room crying over my tent. But no, they liked him from the get-go. Despite,
I bet they did.
although they do openly make fun of his age now.
yeah.
Well, that's. I mean,
it's all
that's
in good
okay.
fun, yeah,
Having
it's great.
having an age difference is not that bad, is it? How much different
No.
are you in
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
He's 4 years older. You're 4 years older.
He's 4 years older.
4 years older, okay.
And I had to introduce him as my musician boyfriend.
Yeah,
so,
that's bad too.
Yeah, we were in the same boat. I'm like, okay, this is how you introduce yourself. This is what you do. And yeah, it went.
How'd
just
that
about
go?
it. Well, it went.
Okay. Because that doesn't sound good being.
No,
Shacked
but
up with a
we've been
musician.
married for 5 years now, so it's okay.
They've gotten over
I think,
it.
well, I
He's
think
still a
they've-
musician, I guess, and he's still making a
Yeah.
living. And he's really good too.
Yeah,
it's
he's
different when you
talented.
hear someone and you think, "Oh my God, this
Yeah,
guy's
he's
really
great.
talented."
So I think they've accepted him now.
Are you going to have another kid?
I hope
Your baby
so.
is 1 now, right?
She is 16 months.
16 months. Okay.
Yeah, she's
So
very chatty, loves people,
okay.
an auditory learner already.
Auditory learner.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That
Like
she
a parrot?
talks. Yes, she copies everything we say. We have to be very careful. And now we're spelling out words because we can't say them.
It means
she knows
she
what.
hasn't learned to read Linda's stolen
The
dictionary.
yeah. She sounds like a pretty interesting little kid.
She's awesome. You were talking about being in the bathroom when that whole conversation was happening. The other day, I was like, hey, where's Dad? And she said, potty? I was like, oh, he's in the potty? She's like, poop. I was like, oh, you just called out your dad. Okay. I was like, hey, Josh, you in the bathroom? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Lena says you're pooping.
Okay.
And she
Well,
knows.
she's on top of that.
Yeah.
But kids like that sort of thing.
One time I was at my office and the little kids are not allowed in my office proper because it's covered in Legos, as is my house.
Whoa.
But
That's cool.
so I'm in
Boy,
there.
we're learning a lot of interesting stuff today. I got to
Very
say, I'm
interesting,
sorry
yeah.
we have to get out of here.
So I'm in there with
This
the
is good.
family, and all of a sudden, this little 3-year-old busts in my door with as much earnestness as a 3-year-old can muster, and just screams out, "I gotta take a shit!"
Okay, that might be a good point to end on right
I think
there.
that's right.
That's been exactly an hour. We have to get out of here.
Short and sweet.
That's our deal.
That's what we got
Did
to
you
do.
come
This
up with
has
the
been-
title?
For the album?
No, but the saga continues.
No, we did. We haven't got a really great title. I mean, that's a big deal coming up with an album title.
It is, I know.
Maybe we'll come up with one, though, during the week. So if you listen to the show and you have an album title for Andrew, for
Tune
his
back
new
in
album,
next week.
Yeah, we'll find out what it is. Well, drop us a line here at our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. And suggest an album title for Andrew's new album. It's going to end up being "Welcome to My World." That's probably what it
That
is.
is-
That's my.
Do not
that's
let
the,
it
that's
be
the
that. That's not good. But no.
Oh my God, Michael Kennedy, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you. I've had a great
It's been
time.
great to meet you. Yeah, I hope we get to meet you again
Yeah,
sometime,
no,
and
this
maybe
has been a
bring
lot of
Josh
fun.
along next time.
I'll see you in the hood, bro.
Hell yeah.
And I
I'll
hope
even
you guys
talk
will
to
actually
you.
talk to each other now. Yeah, exactly. And Linda Summy, thank you so much for coming here. I'm sorry that last time it
Thank
didn't
you.
work out and we lost the whole entire show. I'm
glad it worked
assuming
today.
that we've recorded it this time, and you don't have to do this a third time. And that's it. We'll have a great time in San Antonio, Texas.
Thank
Good luck with
you.
that. I hope we can stay in touch with you as well.
I hope so too.
And hope you guys come back once in a
FaceTime
while.
us.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, that's it. We're out of here.
Let's get
All
out
I
of here.
have to do is just read this list of things here.
Let's go.
That was Happy Hour for another day. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte, Alison Moon and April Stolfo, our associate producers, and Christian Unruh is our music director. Jean Valois is our music producer, and our technical director is Thomas Walsh. Today's show is engineered by Thomas Walsh. Our live feed directors on Facebook have been Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour and drink, how many drinks have you guys had actually today?
4.
Shut
Four.
your damn
And we
mouth.
have the
Pretty
Hangover
good. 4 or
Destroyer.
5 drinks, and we have the Hangover Destroyer, so you can have another one if you like. Anyway, if you'd like to join us sometime around here at Wayfair, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. Where you can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour that are up there, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game with Chris True, Midnight Menu +1, with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and the podcast about death. Death, the podcast. Okay, these guys are swigging back the Hangover Destroyer. Are you watching this, Andrew? You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. How does it taste, Yul?
It's good.
It's a good taste? It tastes good. Well, it smells
It's
powerful.
lovely.
All right. You're not going to get a hangover. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos were taken by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you've got one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, where they have a 3-hour happy hour here every day and an awesome brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everyone around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Let's consider the secret life of the innermost nesting doll. Living most of her life in the dark, inside the other nesting dolls, she has plenty of time to think, if she could. Sadly, she has no brain. However, when an innermost nesting doll hears that Geico not only saves people money, but also has been providing great service for over 75 years, she thinks it's obvious you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Pity the innermost nesting doll and her lot in life.